Hey YouTube, this is Zach with Achilles Financial, and today I'm going to be talking about Apple stock and why I think that there may be opportunity to continue to short the stock going into the end of the year, whether that is buying and selling short shares or by purchasing puts. One of the things that's going to be interesting to watch, in particular associated with Apple, is the large weighting that Apple has in the S&P 500, which means that it is heavily included in many of the indices that track market performance because it is normally a market-weighted indices. You can see that it does make up about 6.5 to nearly 7% of the total holdings for SPY. So the reason why I call that out specifically is because right now, based off of the CPI report, the inflation data from Friday, and I'm filming this on Saturday, I am expecting that we're going to see not just one 50 basis point hike, which is going to be occurring in this upcoming week, but there is a very high likelihood that we will also see a 50 basis point hike in July and September. For that expectation, we can continue to see the S&P 500 begin to trade in a range on a steady decline downwards. Keep in mind, this is all just my opinion. I'm by no means a financial expert. I'm just some guy on YouTube. At this point in time, if we look at a much longer dated chart associated with Apple, you can see that it has quite some ways to go before we get to the pre-COVID levels that we saw in the early part of 2020. That point in time would put the stock at about $75 to $76 per share, where it topped out around $78 to $79 a share in 2020. Now, the company has continued to grow and has continued to be incredibly market dominant, but you can see that any point in time in 2020 as well as 2021, the early part, you can see that the stock did drive much lower. Due to the fact that it is a heavy weighting, I think even if Apple continues to perform, which you have to ask questions about the associated risk of a company that trades in $1,000 smartphones, or even the software aspect as discretionary income begins to decline, my expectation is that we're going to continue to see pain associated with Apple stock as well as the broader market. Now, the trade that you could do here is because I am not the only one sharing this opinion, there is a significant amount of options premium both to the call as well as to the short side, which means that if you are looking for the appropriate opportunity to purchase Apple stock, you could actually sell puts, at which point in time you would be putting up a cash balance saying you will buy Apple stock at X price, and someone will purchase or give you money for that put option. This is something that's going to be very interesting to watch going forward because Apple does continue to maintain an incredibly high trading volume, providing plenty of liquidity, so it gives you the opportunity to move large sums of money fairly easily. At a $2.2 trillion market cap, keep in mind that the stock is well ahead of where it was in early 2020 and does have the potential to decline to that point in time. However, if you want to play the other side of this trade because you think I am wrong, you do have the capability to either A, purchase shares, at which point in time you could still take advantage of the options premium, which is still very expensive, and sell covered calls, or you would have the capability to buy calls on the stock with the expectation that it would turn back to those pre-COVID highs of in the 160s, 150s, and as high as the 170s. This is my personal opinion. This is what I'm going to be watching to see the pre-COVID time of 2020. I could say that it could come in between this range even here, but it's what I'm going to be watching for just based off the broader market moving. You can also see that that would be very much so in line with expectations of what we would expect from the S&P 500 over that same time period where it still has quite a bit further to drop. Again, just my opinion. I'm just some guy on YouTube. However, if you find this content helpful, please leave a like and subscribe. Thanks. Talk to you later.